Hi, today we're going to start off, we're going to make a scent bottle and a scent stopper. So it's going to roughly take the shape of this. These are borosilicate, and the dabber or the stopper will just sit in the top of the scent bottle like this. So we're going to be working with borosilicate tube, clear and coloured, and then borosilicate rod as well. So I'll put them down there. And I'm working on the mid-range, and I'm also working on the minor a little bit as well, depending on the detail that we're doing. So your mid-range being run with 2 5-litre oxycons, the minor with 1 5-litre oxycon. So I've got a little bit of Asian tube, Chinese tube, so this is Teal. So this is roughly around about sort of 18 to 20 mil diameter, medium wall, 1.4, 1.8 mil, and I've got an amber and I've got clear as well. So this one's the amber, and a little bit of the clear, just there. And so get the safety glasses on. I've also got a rod roller, and tools I'll be working with is marble mould, carbon flat, graphite reamer, and a pair of hot fingers. And that's about it, pretty basic tools. So just start off, we use the mid-range on the bottom. And I've already pulled a nice little straight point here. It's quite important that you get a straight point. So just check it, you can always straighten it up if it's a little bit off centre. And then going for around about 4 inches, 4.5 inches, you want to pull your second point. So you've got 4 inches of glass that you're going to work with in the middle. And as usual, it's boro, so use a little bit of heat. But don't rush it. If you've got the confidence to pull a point that's twice the length, and that sets you up for the next one, that's great. If you haven't, then just pull the 1 point. So I've just built it up a little bit out of the flame, and then start to just stretch the glass out. And again, nice and straight. And then just cut the points in half, pop that down for a couple of seconds. And I've also got a pair of rod nippers, so just open the points up so I can blow down that end. And I'll do one in the amber as well. I'm not sure why, but I always feel the amber glass, the amber tubing, especially in boro, is a little bit harder to work, needs a little bit more heat, and is a little bit stiffer. So I'm not sure if there's a technical reason for this in the colouring. Again, stretch it out. And these scent bottles, as you've seen, the ones I'm doing, will be blown up to around about sort of 2–2.5 inches diameter. But obviously if you're working with a smaller flame, you can work a smaller bottle, work a smaller tube as well. Put that one down. And just finally pull a clear one. Just make sure the point is open on that one. So back to the green one, the teal one that we pulled first. So this will be the base of the scent bottle while we're making it. So I'm going to heat up about 2/3 of the tube here. So say about 3 inches. And I just need to straighten this point here. It's not exactly straight. It does make a difference when you come to finish the rim. So just heat that and straighten it up. So soften the flame down a little bit. And if you feel that you're losing control, you can always work higher in the flame, work with a softer flame, cooler flame. But like I say, I'm melting about 3 inches of the glass and just working backwards and forwards up and down the tube, not pushing it together, but the glass will start pulling in together on its own. And let it do that, you want to thicken up the wall of the glass. If you were to blow it straight out now and you're starting from, say, 1.8mm wall, then it starts to thin the wall out and you end up with 1mm, half a mil, which is not what you want, because you want the bottle to be practical, to be usable. And so let it build up and build the wall of the glass up to when you're thinking about starting from 2.5, 3mm wall, and then when you blow it out, it still is around about 1/8, 2mm by the time you blow it out. Now that's nice and warm. Just give it a little, like a trial blow. So you're not going for the immediate shape on the first blow. You're looking at probably at least 3 or 4 attempts to get the right shape and the size. So again, just start to warm the glass through, turning it all the time to get a nice even heat, and then looking down it again and blowing. I think for the first one, I'll probably stick with that. So going on to just going to switch on the minor for a couple of seconds. Got that right. And now what I'm going to do is just to heat and melt the neck down. So I want to reduce the neck to about at least half of the diameter. So turn it round and just reasonable minor flame. I'm just heating in one area so that the glass starts to become molten and starts to shrink back down again. And again, as it's melting, as it's reducing in diameter, keep checking that it's all straight and nice in a parallel, in a line. It's starting to get nice and hot now, it's starting to reduce quite a lot. And again, this will thicken the glass up, which is exactly what you want. Just pop it out the flame, let it cool a little bit. Keep turning it all the time and keep making sure that your 2 points are nice and straight. And then we're going to take this point off here and start to thin the end wall down quite a lot, as thin as we can really, and then we're going to blow it out in the flame. So just start to heat the end of the wall and take the point off, and then again heating the wall to pull a bit more out, and then in the flame, and then go to a little bit stronger flame, so you need your graphite reamer at this point, and just to start flaring the rim of the scent bottle out, rest it on the reamer, and then the flame goes inside the glass rim and on the outside as well, moving it about, and just angle your left hand up holding the scent bottle, spinning it as you do, and then start to flare out the rim. And then just with the back of the marble mould where it's nice and flat, you can just check to make sure the rim's nice and flat. And at this point here, you can now take hold of it with a pair of hot fingers. If you worry, just give the hot fingers, if they're really, really cold, just a little bit of a warming in the flame, and then tighten them round. Swap them over. And we're going to now remove the second point and let the base thicken up as well as become nice and square, but we will use a paddle just to make sure we've got a nice flat base. There we go. And then we can take this out of the hot fingers. And you can just see, so you've got a nice little teal scent bottle. Now, I'll put that over there. Normally that would go straight in the kiln at this point. I'll pop it down in the cooling bubbles just because we want to show you with the stopper a little bit later on. And we'll crack on with the stopper now. So again, we'll go away from the minor and go on to the mid-range. And the scent bottle stopper, or the dabber, is the most basic one, is the one I showed you earlier on right at the beginning. So it's a nice little point and then a rounded end. You can always expand on those ideas. So if you think of in the top of the stopper here, you could do an implosion, you could create a marble, you could put dichroic, put a flower on the top, whatever. So I'll show you the first one to do and the easiest way to make it. So I've got myself a little bit of clear rod. This is around about sort of 14mm boro rod. I'm just going to take off with a little bit of a bubble there. So I'm going to heat up about 1 inch of the glass, and then just bring in another little punty. And I'm just going to draw a short point, like an angled point, ever so, only about sort of 3 inches long maximum really, so I want this to be nice and thick. And it's as much as teasing the glass out, but just letting gravity do its thing as well. So you can see I'm holding the left hand up, right hand down, so gravity helps out a little bit. And then the opposite way around as well. And you just want to get a smooth, sort of smoother point as you can get. It'll just look nicer on the end finish. So that's got that for that. And then go in further up the original rod. Start to melt this. We're going to cut this off. Well, I've taken that off there, and now just start to melt it back on itself, so it gets nice and thick, increases the diameter, so you end up with a bulb at the top. And if you need to run it through a marble mould, you can do. I don't think this will particularly need it, but you know, to get a nice round end on it. And you could take some colour, and you could trail colour around the outside of it at this point as well if you wanted to. This one I'm just going to leave clear. And again, with this I would put it straight in the kiln, but this one I'll put some cooling bubbles so that we can show you at the end of the demo how to finish it off. Now, different designs on the bottles are quite easy to do. So again, this is just the same bottle, so I'll quickly blow up a ball of cut. Start again. So different designs on the bottles are quite easy to do. For this one, I'm just going to take some orange boro colour, and I'll take this end piece off, And then I'm going to put a trail of colour around the tube. So I'm just pre-warming the tube. And then tack it on the end. And then just spinning it up the tube. There we go. So just lost it at the beginning, there's a little bit of a wiggle, but it'll probably be okay now. So now I need to, like we did with the first one, just heat it up, let the glass build the wall thickness up, start it put together, and we're going to blow this out. It will blow out a little bit difficult, well I won't say difficult, but a little bit differently to the first one you've done because you've added a second colour. And so that colour is going to blow out at different temperatures and different speeds to the clear. And so you will have to keep melting it back, blowing it out, melting it back and blowing it out. So just give it the first blow. And then back in the flame. Quite happy with that. So again, move down to the minor burner. I'm just going to thin the neck down. And the more you can get where you thin the neck down, you increase the wall thickness. The more you can get a nice flow. You don't want it square edged or anything like that. You just want that flow going into the neck so it looks just really nice and smooth. And again, get rid of this point. Pull out as much glass as you can. And just go back to the mid-range. Again, you're just resting the glass on the reamer as you start to turn it, put the flame inside the rim and then back to the outside on the edge. And then just raising your left hand a little bit as you're spinning it round and resting it, it starts to flare the rim out. So that gives you a nice polished rim. Then go down to the minor flame again. And I'm going to put some decoration on using the red. So taking the red rod that I've got, I can just go around putting little dots of red on. And just make sure you flame these in well enough so they don't just ping off. And then I'm going to put a little teardrop on as well, so just making the round drop, the round part of the drop on the end of a rod. Put this down for a second. Get this nice and round and then let it chill. Reduce the flame a little bit. And just again going in for the shoulder. We want to heat the rod, and then you want to use gravity to let it pull the drop off so you get a nice smooth point going up to the tip of the drop. So if you overdo it, obviously the drop's going to just fall off onto the bench. So be a bit careful. That's just about right. So then just doing a little cold seal with a bit of clear glass. Take the drop off. And then just heat the tip of the rim. Join the drop onto the rim. Break the cold seal off. And don't forget to seal the base of the drop. And then just warm the edge of the drop just so it touches the side of the scent bottle. There we go. So back onto the mid-range flame. And just warm your hot fingers up just while you grab hold of the rim. And we're just going to finish off the base of the scent bottle. And again, put that straight in the kiln. And we're just going to do a little bit different for the stopper on this one. So we'll put a coloured swirl around the stopper as well. So starting with just a little bit thicker rod, this one, so it's around about sort of like 18 to 20 mil rod diameter. And again, just hit the tip of it, about an inch. And we're going to pull the taper down for the stopper. So get a nice gradual taper, and this becomes the dabber on the stopper. And then about a further inch up the rod, start to heat it. So we're going to take this off and just cut the rod at this point. And again, heating about 1/2 inch of the coloured rod. You just want to get this nice and hot. And then what we need to do now is to melt that in. Again, you wouldn't want to leave the trail proud on the surface of the clear glass, because as it cools down the trail will just ping off. So you're melting this in, but that allows you also to form a nice dome on the top of the stopper. If you need to just check and get a nice round top on the stopper, you can always use a little marble mould. I think this one's going to be alright. Always remember, gravity is your friend. You can always use gravity to get the nice taper, smooth taper. And then after this has cooled down, I'll be able to hold it by this end and then just measure to see how long the drop has to be, and then flame cut and round the end. So that'll be the stopper, and we'll put that over here for now.